notion of it's about execution and it's about source to contract effectiveness. Now, what does that mean? That's a lot of words. So in every single procurement organization that had the privilege of working in, we had this source to contract methodology, right? 6-step, 5-step, 7-step method that we followed to actually bring the idea all the way through to the contracting to drive value for the business. The problem with that is that there are lots of things that can go sideways during a deal that could erode value, right? And so for me, I started thinking hard about what source to contract effectiveness really means. And let me give you a little bit of a perspective here. In the US alone, we spend $9 trillion, $9 trillion with a TR. And it's managed largely these days by procurement teams at major companies, right? So, and if you probably racked and stacked the top 10,000 companies on the planet, they drive probably 90+% of the overall spend profile of that 9 trillion per year. I'm using 2019 Forrester data because I want to do something prior to COVID, but that's the size of the magnitude. And then so here's the insight. The insight was just a singular 1 percentage point improvement in your source to contract effectiveness would translate to $90 billion, because that's the math. 1% times 9 trillion, 90 billion, in incremental value that could be unlocked by procurement if we can just get 1% more effective. I believe we should embark on a 1% effectiveness framework. If $90 billion is too scary for some of y'all, right? And let's find the top 5,000 of those suppliers that drive, maybe $4.5-5 trillion to spend. And let's be world-class at driving value in that source of contract process. It is the second largest and most valuable process in all of business. And it's managed in an amateurishly bad way, in spite of having robust kind of framing for it. And I'm gonna give you one area where it's really bad. It's in the stakeholder engagement area. If you don't have a really good stakeholder engagement, if you aren't partnering well with the stakeholders, they end up either not using procurement at all, or they end up contacting procurement too late for procurement to add value. And until recently, we've never had a tool where we could basically report out those folks that are doing source to contract right in the business and those folks that are doing source to contract in a way that's eroding value, right? I believe there's an opportunity for us to put an end to maverick spend, which is a resultant value eroding behavior that happens when you get stuff too late to do a 7-step process on it. And I think there's a huge opportunity for us to drive more source to contract effectiveness on that $9 trillion by engaging stakeholders better. And so, in 2016, I actually was so sickened by not having a solution, I built one myself, and I've actually been able to deploy it at a couple places, and to a massive positive effect. Right. So, and I'd love to make sure that every single supply chain leader, procurement leader has the capacity to fix this problem, which has been the scourge of our existence in the supply chain space since as long as I've been here, which is several decades. And it is fixable now. There's a SaaS tool that can get after it. It's called EP Squared, or Procurement Front Door. And it is a game changer that every single major company needs to embrace, engage, and fix this very, very valuable, second most valuable process in procurement by leveraging. That is the grail, because source to contract is the second largest process in all of business.